So, I don't want to waste a chance for me to have makeup on, so I guess I'm gonna film another video about it. Alright, so I figured it's been a hot minute since I did a tag, I guess. You know me, I do a whole bunch of tags, and yet I never tag anyone in them. I basically just say where I got them from, but never challenge anyone else to do it. Same goes. I'm awkward as fuck. We're not gonna handle that. Let's just do this tag quick before I do some other things, and also before my battery runs out, which is probably gonna do shortly. Alright, so this tag that I wanted to do today is called it's actually the book blogger test tag. I found this on the Booknut blog, and it looks like it was created by Laura at Laura's Book Review. Of course, not a book blogger, I guess a vlogger technically is what this is, I suppose. So it's a little bit different, but the same thing. I'm just gonna do this tag and here we go. First question. What are your top 3 book pet hates? I'm guessing this means pet peeves. I am not 100% fond of when I buy a book and half of the series is paperback while the other half is hardcover. It's not super troublesome to me, but it's something that on some level it does bother me a little bit, I suppose. Another pet peeve would be when you order them from a secondhand store online and you think it's going to be one edition, that you really were excited to get that particular edition because you liked the cover or whatever, and it turns out to be something entirely different. Or like when I purchased both Murder for Christmas and Becoming, they both came minus the dust jacket. That was a little annoying. I guess my third pet peeve would probably be stickers that aren't stickers on books. When they're like the stickers, but it's like it's just telling you something about it. It's like an ad or something, but it's not an actual like sticker that you can peel off. That's kind of annoying. Sorry if you can like hear guitar or noises in the background. My husband's playing guitar downstairs, and I keep trying to leave the door kind of closed, but the cat keeps wanting to come in and then go out and then come in and then go out because cats. Let's move on to the next question. So question number 2 is describe your perfect reading spot. My perfect reading spot would be somewhere cozy, so curled up in like a big chair, or maybe in bed or something like that, but it has to be by a window that is sunny, and if it's nice out, open, so I can hear like the birds and stuff like that while I'm reading. And I would also prefer to have a beverage of some kind, whether it be tea or coffee or maybe water, depending on what season it is and my level of thirsty. Number 3 is tell us 3 book confessions. 1, I love libraries, like in a huge fucking way. I will step into any type of library, especially if they're older, and just walk around and you hear the floor cracking and creaking and you like walk between all of the book stacks and run your fingers over all of the spines as you walk by and try to find old favorites, even if it's like somewhere I'm just like visiting, and I obviously am not a resident, I don't have a card for this, I just like to see libraries. That's something I'm just low-key obsessed. It's been a while since I've been to an actual physical library, and that's a little depressing sometimes. Another confession, I suppose, also involves libraries, and it is a habit which is going to stop now that there's COVID. But what I used to like was to just smell the library. Just walk up to the books and just get a big whiff of the books in the library, especially if they're older. I used to do that in secondhand bookstores as well, but that is going to stop because germs, man. Is something actually that you guys already know or probably gleaned from the amount of times my bookshelves have changed behind me or in general or any tours that I've done or anything, but when I get super upset or stressed out or particularly anxious, the only thing that can really calm my brain totally is to be fully involved in a task, and that task is most of the time reorganizing all of my books. I do it quite frequently. I have not in like a month or so, but I'm starting to get that feeling, so I'm thinking that I'm probably going to reorganize yet again. I don't know what it is, it's just super soothing to me, I guess. So, yeah. Question 4 is, when was the last time you cried at a book? The last time I cried at a book was actually this past month. There was a part, there was a series of comic strips in the Essential Calvin and Hobbes that got me a little choked up, and then there was also a couple of parts in Dreams from My Father that also got me some kind of type of choked up, so, you know, it's recently. Question 5. How many books are on your bedside table? Books on my bedside table. Good lord. Well, sitting on top of it is one book, and it is the book that I'm currently reading, which is Inkheart. But technically there's like a shelf under my nightstand where I have books, and there's about 6 that are 7 or even more than that. They're all kind of stacked there. Question 6 is, what is your favorite snack whilst you're eating? Whilst you're reading. Jesus, I'm hungry apparently. My favorite snack while I'm reading is usually not something that's very messy, or I try not to eat anything messy when I'm reading because I'm inevitably going to get Cheeto stains all over my books again, and I did that a lot when I was a child. Usually it is tea or coffee, and then I don't know, sometimes I like to have fruit. Sometimes I like to have a good like cookie or baked good or something with the tea or coffee while I'm reading, and it makes me feel like I can pretend I'm in like a cafe somewhere and doing stuff. I really miss being out in public and not freaking out, guys. Question, what are we on? 7? Is that where we are? I don't know. They're not numbered. Name 3 books you'd recommend to everyone. Okay, so one book I would recommend to everyone is A Christmas Carol, because I think it's an easy classic to read. I also think it has a very good message behind it, and the humor in it is just wonderful. I would also recommend They Called Us Enemy, which is the graphic novel memoir of George Takei's childhood in the Japanese internment camps in, I forget which state he was in. I think it was California. He moved from like a couple of them. But yeah, I think that's a very important read as well. It's very, parts of it are heartwarming, parts of it are heartbreaking. It's very frustrating to see that was allowed to happen. Everybody was or most people seem to be okay with it, and the kind of shit happens now, and still most people seem to be okay with it again. And I also think it's very important as well, considering how disgusting shit has been happening against Asian Americans in this country since COVID kind of hit. No thanks to some asshole who had to keep fucking opening his mouth and calling it bullshit racist shit that it's not. It's COVID. It's not your racist ass name for it, you ass. Anyway, that is a book that, yeah, it's important. I think it's a very important read. And it's you know, parts of it are tough, but it's also enjoyable as well. Oh, a third book. A third book I'd recommend. I would also really see a lot of the books I'd recommend based on what you are into. Like if you are into, you know, if you like poetry, I have like a bunch of poets I'd recommend, or I just recommend like The Poet X because it was such an excellent read from last year. Or if you like romances, I have, I have genre ones for somebody in particular though, or just for everyone. The Graveyard Book. I want everyone to read The Graveyard Book because I want it to be so extremely popular that they decide to make a movie out of it. And not just any movie. I want it to be a stop motion movie, and I want Tim Burton to be involved, and I want that so hard. So I want everyone to read this. Not only is it an excellent, wonderful book that will break you into bits by the ending, but I want this to be a fucking stop motion movie. Come on. Read it, please. Then the next thing is, because it's on a blog, show us a picture of your favorite shelf on your bookcase. So we're gonna do like a little insert image thing here, and I guess I'm gonna take like a picture of my favorite shelf, or actually I'm on a video camera. What am I thinking? I'm just gonna show you like a little video of my favorite shelf. I technically have 3 bookshelves, but I think we'll go with the one that you see behind me most of the time. So this is my favorite shelf because I'm very happy with a lot of the books on it, and I'm very happy with a lot of the things on it. So, next question is, write how much books mean to you in 3 words. I feel like I've answered this question before on another thing, but I would say, again, and I think this is the same thing I said last time, but best memories ever. And last question is, what is your biggest reading secret? Biggest reading secret, huh? I don't really think I have any reading secrets. Honestly. I don't think I have any secrets, really. I guess maybe it's like, it's not really a secret, I don't think, because I have mentioned this before, I suppose, in videos, but it's like the stuff about books that really bothers people, like the cracked spines, or folding pages down, or underlining or highlighting in books and stuff like that. The stuff that drives people mad don't drive me crazy at all. I do all of that. I don't really mind breaking spines. Sorry. So I can't read a book when it's like shut like this. I mean, if it's somebody else's book that I'm borrowing, I'll try to be extra delicate with it because I don't know if somebody else has that pet peeve. So I will, be careful. But if it's my own book, like, I don't really care. I don't mind doing that. I'd rather read it when it's open, and easy to read, not just like, oh, is that word in the corner. I fold pages down because I don't always have my notebook handy with like quotes that I like to write out. So I'll fold a page down so I can come back to it later and write down the quote or remember it or something like that. And sometimes I underline or highlight. I don't do that as much as I used to. That one's kind of funny because when I was a kid I thought that was like sacrilegious. I was like, oh my god, don't you dare hurt a book like that. But then I went away to college and that just became easier in all of my textbooks, and I just started doing that in some of my normal books as well. Yeah, I don't really do it as much as I used to and just add like notes or commentary or stuff, but on occasion I still continue to do it, and it just makes it more enjoyable, especially my old textbooks, my old Shakespeare books from college and stuff like that. I enjoy rereading it sometimes and then seeing the lines that I particularly loved because I underlined them, or my commentary, whether it had to do with something in class we were discussing or it was just me saying that, wow, what an asshole, or something like that. It brings back memories of that time, so I don't really mind it that much. I mean, I feel like I've mentioned it briefly that kind of shit doesn't bother me so much, but here you go. I guess that's my reading secret, is that that shit doesn't bother me, and I'm sure that it bothers probably a lot of you, and I'm sorry, but this is me. So that is it for that book tag. I will leave the link down below, as per usual, of where I got it from and who created it, and yeah. I hope that you guys enjoyed this. If you want to do this, go for it. Do it. It's kind of fun. I enjoyed it. If you have any other tag suggestions for me, please let me know down below. I'll see if those sound pretty cool. Maybe I'll do them in the future. Anyway, have a good day, guys. Bye.